Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to Stampers Club. I'm Karen Trolfa, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this really cool little framed verse. You know, the verse is nicely framed in this really cool card. Yeah, with us really pretty, and look at these wonderful little fuzzies. Aren't those wonderful? Love the new embellishments in the catalog today. Okay, so let's get started. First, we're going to go ahead and stamp all of our elements first, okay? So I need to get the leaf. Get that on here, okay? Just one cute little leaf, and I'm using, ooh, that didn't ink up very well. Here, let's flop that over. Gotta love God, he gave us two sides, can fix anything. Let's get that more stamped on there. Perfect. So that was with Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to punch that out with the leaf punch. There's a few stamp sets in the catalog that have leaves this pattern that this punch is good for. Okay, so we've got that wonderful little image there. And then on our verse, I'm actually going to make the framelit, the frame part first. That way you can use that as a little bit of a template for some placement. Okay, so the way the frame is made, it's using one of our new bundle of items. So it's like two pieces, actually four. So this is the framelit, the Heirloom Frames dies. So you get a circle, or an oval rather, an oval and a rectangle. And with that, you also will receive the embossing folder, one in a rectangle and one in the oval. So this is kind of a set with multiple pieces. First time Stampin' Up's ever done that. So that's kind of cool that we have some new stuff. So we're going to just have some piece of Mossy Meadow paper, and we're just going to get that framelit cut out. Okay, you're just going to make that oval. Okay, so it just looks kind of like this. And you can, at that point, you're going to use the framelit or the embossing folder. And when I lined this up, I always, I kind of just opened the folder and put the paper underneath because the paper, you can see through the folder. And for alignment, I found it easier to use the oval in the center. This has like a beveled edge, so it's a little bit of an optical illusion whether you're centered or not. So once I found my center, I just kind of closed that on there. Let's run it through the Big Shot. Okay. And then you get this really pretty detailing on this on your cardstock. So you get this really pretty detailing. So now that I have that, I'm just going to lay that over the top of that paper so I can kind of get my placement. And I'm going to start with my verse, and that is in Calypso Coral. Okay. Get that inked up nicely, and then I'm just going to put it right towards the top. Okay, perfect. Okay, and then that way I know where to follow up with my leaves. Okay, I'm going to just kind of move that away, and then I'm going to use this kind of a leaf outline. And I'm going to do the same thing with Mossy Meadow as I did the leaf that we punched out, okay? And I just want to get this kind of close to the verse, stamp down once. I'm going to lift it up and shift and stamp down a second time. And that gives me one stamped off version. So you have a high and a low in the color. Just gives you that nice little background detail, okay? So this will end up kind of peeking through just like this. That kind of neat, huh? Yep. Okay, and then we also need to stamp these petals. And I'm using some So Saffron cardstock and Petal Pink ink. And we need two of them. Okay, two of them. And that is punched out with our new Floral Essence Petals die. This actually comes in a bundle with the stamp set that I'm also using today. So you have the Floral Essence bundle. So you get the stamp set, which actually has, you know, several different leaves and petals. You can use this as petals also, or leaves also, or petals. And then you have some other nice floral images and a couple of verses. You also have this little stem and some additional leaves too that you can use for stamping. But I'm going to punch these out. And of course, if I would have punched them so that they were, oh, perfect. I did do it right, just by accident. Happy accidents. I need 2 of those. And I always go from the bottom so I can align it. I need 2 of those. Okay. So there's our parts and pieces that we need. Okay. Now let's do some assembly. Okay. Get my card base out here. This is Mossy Meadow. 8.5 by 5.5. Use my bone folder and fold that in half. And then I'm going to add a piece of the Floral or Perennial Essence designer paper. I mean, it's kind of hard to decide which side to use, huh? I just love this paper. Some tape over here. That's centered down there. Okay, and this piece I'm going to kind of do as a unit. So what I want to do is get some of the regular size dimensionals. And I just want to add a few around the edge here. This has a little bit of a concave to it. So to glue it straight down, you may lose some of the texture by flattening it out. So that's why I decided to use some dimensionals. Plus it gives a nice little peekaboo type framing too. I wonder what that would look like with maybe some acetate sheet over the front of it. That might be kind of cool. So I'm just going to center this on here, and what'll happen is it sticks to just a little bit of the dimensional. It doesn't even stick to the whole thing. Then I'll add some tape to the back of that to help to secure this whole thing down. Okay? And it's just right smack in the center of the card. That on there. So you get that nice little bit of a lift there too. So you get the little bit more dimension. Okay? Then I'm going to add a little tape to my leaf, and I'm going to pop that on right about there. Okay? And I want to curl the petals of my flower, and I'm just going to use my bone folder to do that. You can use your fingers, but sometimes they tend to crease a little bit, so I find this to be a little bit simpler. And these two are just glued down together. Just overlapped just like that. Okay. Now I'm not going to put that on yet. I'm going to make a bow with our petal pink organdy ribbon. You know, this can be colored too if you just use a marker or a blender pen or just run it along the ink pad. This will actually change color. Even though it's pink to start with, you can technically still change that color. And when I do my bows, if you haven't seen me yet, I do 2 bunny ears. And then I tie the 2 bunny ears together. Okay? Maybe, let's try that again. Let's get them a little further apart to start. Then maybe my fat fingering won't be such a problem. There we go, okay? And again, I hold the center and I pull the tails gently to get my bows close together. And then I grab hold of those tails and pull my bow tight. And I just kind of work it back and forth like that until I get the size bow that I need. This one's a little, for this card, needs to be a little bit wider. Some scissors over here. This just gets put on with a glue dot. Get one of those there. And I have it, you know, down on the edge there. Okay, and then this, I need to put it on a dimensional so that it lifts above the center of this bow. Let's see if I can get that a little smaller. Nope, that didn't work out. There we go, I like that better. This got put on a dimensional because that will help it lift up off that bow a little bit. Okay. That way the bow is just kind of peeking out from behind it. Let me get some ribbon scissors and clean that up a little bit. Whoops, wrong direction. I did the same thing here. I did it in the wrong direction. You guys get the idea. You're famous stampers. You get the idea. All right, so now for this little embellishment here in the middle. It's with the Perennial Essence Floral Centers. So you get 18 of them in the container. And they already have the adhesive on the back side of them. So the little dimensional's kind of already on there. So you just kind of got to pull that little piece of paper off. And then that sits right down in the center of that flower. And voila! Give that to someone that has beautiful days that are going to begin for them, and they are going to think you are amazing. Thank you so much for visiting with me today. I enjoyed showing you how to make this lovely card. If you want more details on the card, you can visit my blog at stampersclub.com, and I will have some more details there for you on this one. Thanks, bye.